All right, we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Today we're going to be playing some more Mario Kart World. It's going to be a bit of a shorter stream today. I don't have a great reason for it, unless you're a Star Wars fan. Then I have an amazing reason. But I finished watching Andor Season 2. And if you are a Star Wars fan, you know that is an amazing series. And if you've seen the finale of Season 2, then you probably know that if you finish the second to last episode, it doesn't really, it leaves off on a cliffhanger, and you really want to see the finale after that. So I watched the second to last episode. I was like, you know what? I really need to see how this ends right now. I'm not going to wait another day or two to see how it ends. And the finale ties into Rogue One so well that I was like, well, I've got to see Rogue One now. And I'm glad I did, because there are certain things they say, certain details that I think I wouldn't have necessarily remembered. Like the locations and stuff for what they're doing in Rogue One. So yeah, what was originally going to turn into watching one episode of Andor turned into 2 episodes, which turned into 2 episodes and a movie. So before I knew it, I went from spending 1 hour on watching Andor to watching like 4 hours of Star Wars. So yeah, by the time I was done, it was like really late. But again, I don't really regret doing it because, you know, it's a much better experience to watch those one after another. But yeah, I've been tired all day, and yeah, for some reason I get errors when I'm running OBS, but I mean, everything's live, everything seems to be working, so. But yeah, anyway, this isn't a Star Wars stream, this is a Mario Kart stream, so. I'm going to be playing the baby characters today just to unlock their costumes. I've heard the babies are actually really good in this game because of their acceleration stats. I got this cart, I think it's called the Real Racer or whatever, but I think it has a slightly higher speed stat, so I'm hoping that sort of helps balance out the really high acceleration that babies have. Yeah. Oh, are you serious? Couldn't have lasted for one more bounce. Speaking of outfits. But yeah, I guess we got pretty much all the Koopa Trooper outfits. I think we're missing one, but really didn't get an outfit from that first one. Oh, come on. Pick random so we do full lap. Is that another style? I think it is. That's 2 styles unlocked like basically instantly. But yeah, I like having high acceleration characters, and I need their outfits, so I guess we'll play the babies. I mean, I would never normally choose them if I don't have to, but I do want to unlock costumes and stuff, so. Ooh-wee. Oh, come on, I got a rainbow drift there too. I've heard that Oh, come on. I guess that's my fault. I've heard some mixed opinions on bagging in this game, like purposefully staying behind to get good items to win the race via items. Are you serious? Another squish? But I don't really like bagging regardless, so I'm just not gonna do it. Sorry, Wario. Sorry, not sorry, but... I should have waited for the draft. For some reason, I keep wanting to say drift instead of draft. That's not it. Now it's time for my revenge. Ow, come on. I know that was my fault, but still. That doesn't mean I have to like that it was my fault. Excuse me, cows. And yeah, it's actually cows, it's not moo-moos. I may have unintentionally bagged here. If I can use this gold shell effectively. There we go, unintentional bagging. Yeah, who would seriously pick the babies? Like, oh, my favorite character are the baby versions of the Mario characters. I don't even... Where did those baby characters even come from? I don't even know what games they came from. My cat's here, if you hear any meowing. Hello. Hey, Psycho. Hey, Oblivious. Hey, Kart, and how's it going? It is the Switch 2. Pretty cool. Yeah, I see a lot of people saying that, well, saying that everyone's gotta do random now, like it's a courtesy thing. Because doing random is, there's like some exceptions, but that's basically the only way you can do 3 laps on one track now. Food! And didn't give me a style, well. But I think just because that's the reason why you recommend people to select random, I don't think it should be like, it should feel obligated. Like, some people really do like the in-between sections of the maps, and if someone doesn't want to pick random, then they can pick a map they want, you know? I enjoy both, but I think the more competitive scene of Mario Kart really insists on doing random, because, you know, they can memorize the tracks and stuff then, at least more easily than all the in-between sections. Oh, I should have, well, maybe not. That's sort of a longer way. But I think to say that, or to like be mad at people for not picking random is kind of dumb. Like, people can pick what they want. Just trying to make sure I'm not getting wrecked here. I think that's actually a really good route there. Going on that ramp. Yeah, there's no reason to go that way. Doink. Not a graceful landing, but that's fine. Aw, someone still stole my item. My item. Yeah, if that's not the fastest route on this track, it certainly feels like it. Or it's certainly not a bad track. Really? You just had to throw that the second the lightning hit? I don't think it's worth taking the rail there. There's no extra... Please don't hurt me. I'm just a baby. I'm glad I looked back for at that point. At Gold Shell. Still gaining VR for 10th. It sounds like there's a lot of people getting stuck in the 9K section. I don't know if that's the max or not, but it sounds like there's a huge amount of people that are stuck in like the 9K range or close to it. Hey, Mario Maker. That's the theme playing. So I'm a little worried for when I get higher VR that there's going to be a huge amount of people that are in that range. Like, I'm worried that the MMR cap isn't high enough. Like, you need to give like the really pro amazing people like enough space to like really pull ahead of the people that are just good, you know? But if enough people that are just good get up to the same VR as, or MMR as the super pros, then that's different. I have no idea where we're going. I don't think we're doing the same race again. We are not. One of the times where I know going on the rail would be faster. Woo! How'd that red shell not go for me? Well. But yeah, I feel like I'm finally... Are you serious? I feel like I'm starting to get into a good spot with knowing the strats and stuff. That doesn't mean I can't improve, of course. Like, I'm... Oh! How did you spawn right in front of the cannon? Why are you... I know it's Kamek's magic, but still. Feels like they shouldn't spawn on the road like that. Well, if I get on the railing, I don't know. It might not be a bad idea to stay there. I got squished as soon as I used my mushroom. At least I didn't get hit by the shock. Eh. Oh boy. Oh, that's what you get for stealing my red shell. Free food. A singular mushroom. Never mind, no mushroom. Ooh-wee, did I actually save myself from a red shell there? Heck yeah, first place! Let's go! Hey Digweed, welcome to the stream. How's it going? Oh, I forgot to turn on the HUD for the vertical stream. I'll do that next right here. Geez. You gotta remember you can use rewind in free mode online. Galaxy music, I love it. Look, I gushed enough about the soundtrack on yesterday's stream plenty of times, so I'm not gonna try to repeat myself too much. But man. Alright, well that counts as a rail going backwards. It looked like part of that wasn't actually going to count as a rail, but I guess it worked. I wish I could get the Switch too. I hope you were able to get it sometime. Fire Aspect. It's a cool system. Is it like a supply issue where you're at, or a price issue? I've heard mixed things about supply constraints. Some people I've heard are able to just walk into a store and get a Switch 2. Some are just not having nearly as much luck. Yeah, I get you. I was in a spot where it wasn't a preventative issue for me, but it's enough so that I'm a bit tight on cash for a little bit, let's just say. But hey, I was like, hey, if I can afford it, get it now before, you know, tariffs or whatever get worse, right? Or before, like, the economy gets worse or something changes with my income, you know. So it was a bite, but now I'm hopefully set for the generation. Ooh! I was going to pre-order Donkey Kong Bonanza, but yeah, I ended up not nearly getting as much of a trade-in for my Switch 1 as I thought, so I was like, you know what, I'm getting Mario Kart World, that should be enough for me for a while. I can hold off on Bonanza for a bit. I don't expect it to go down in price or anything. By the way, first place! Nice. But I had to cancel my pre-order because it's a lot, you know, buying a console, some games. The launch of a system is always the most expensive part. Not gonna lie, I like the look of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe more than this, but maybe that'll change. I mean, I like them both. I played Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for ages, but at the end of the day, I really like the Knockout Tour mode. And as many race tracks as there are in Deluxe, once you've played them all, then there really isn't anything else left, you know? Like, I played the original maps in Mario Kart 8 like to death. Like, as good as they are, I played Dolphin Shoals plenty of times, right? I'm ready for something new. I didn't really care for the tour maps that came in the Booster Course Pass, even though that some did have some good music and stuff. And while I liked the returning maps like the Wii Rainbow Road and Coconut Mall, I mean, like, I still was able to play on them a bunch, right? And returning maps, like, I did play those on the Wii, so again, I'm just ready for something new. And the free mode is also nice to... I didn't need to jump there. But just chill out, relaxing, you know? Yeah, the Mega Mushroom is back. It doesn't play the sound, but I think it lasts the exact same amount of time as it does in Wii, so... In my head, I'm sort of like, when I get the Mega Mushroom, I'm just sort of playing that, the Mega Mushroom theme from Wii in my head, and then that's basically the exact amount of time it is. Alright, now we can jump on. Well, if we're able to, well, you know what, it's still not really worth it. I logged over 1,000 hours. Dang. I was at 400, and I thought that was a lot. But you know, I figure, like, you know, even if I don't spend, even if I spent like half the amount of time I spent in Deluxe, right? Like, even if I spent Mega Mushroom time, if I spent like 200 hours in Mario Kart World, then it's basically worth it, even without the bundle. And I did end up getting the bundle, so it's like a no-brainer if you get the Switch 2 bundle, right? It basically makes it a $50 game, and that's just a no-brainer. For me, at least. I know not everyone's insane about Mario Kart, but... Ooh, that was actually an alright shortcut. Oh, the other thing about World that's cool now, at least for the time being, is that there's still a lot of questions people have about, oh my goodness, about the meta and what strats are good, what routes are best to take. Like, there's a meta combo, but is it really the best? Like, we just don't have any any of the stats data mined. There's still a lot of questions about like the hidden stats. And so not everyone really knows what the best thing is. So you don't have a situation like in Deluxe where everyone's playing as Yoshi on the teddy bear. You'll see like people using the same cart and stuff in here, but not nearly as much as in Deluxe. Like there's still a lot of questions, there's still a lot of discovery going on. And there's a lot of differences too. Like the coins work differently in World than they do in Deluxe. And it's like a lot more variable, I guess. I need to scroll back up in the chat here. I get so much nostalgia from Mario Kart Wii, yeah. When they announced the Booster Course Pass, I was just like, give me Maple Tree Way, Coconut Mall, and Rainbow Road, and I'm good. And I was very lucky they gave us all of those. All right. CFR Aspect, thanks for stopping by. ACC, what do you mean? Did they remove the squid? No, they didn't. It's actually more annoying because I think it's harder to see through now than it was in Mario Kart 8. I think they're trying to sell the bundle as good, as a good deal. Want more money? Yeah. It's, yeah, like they were raising the price of the game, knowing that less people will find value in like the game solo, so that more people buy the bundle. I could see that as the business move. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I don't know exactly how many of the bundle they made versus just the normal non-bundle Switch combo, but I could be completely wrong about this, but I heard a rumor saying that they were making like twice as many Mario Kart Switch 2 bundles as they were just with the Switch itself. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't do inventory at stores or whatever, but that was the word on the street, so to say. And I believe it. I think a lot of people who are getting the Switch 2 at launch would probably be interested in Mario Kart. And would probably get it anyway, even if there was no bundle. It kind of reminds me of back on the Wii U when didn't they say like you could get like a free Wii U game if you bought Mario Kart 8 or something? There was like a few like really good games you could get for free if you bought Mario Kart 8 on Wii U, which was weird because everyone who had a Wii U probably saw like Mario Kart 8 as like a big game that was an obvious pick, right? So it's like if you were somehow on the fence about Mario Kart 8, they made it an even better deal, and I think they're trying to make it a no-brainer for as many people as possible, you know? And look, as many differences as there are between, oh my goodness, between World and 8 Deluxe, like they're still both Mario Kart games. You know what you're getting into when you play a Mario Kart game. There are like, you know, differences with how coins work and the open world aspect makes some races feel different than others. So there's a bit of a change in design philosophy, I guess, but at the end of the day, they're both Mario Kart games. So if you like Mario Kart 8, you're going to like World to some extent. Like, I just don't see how someone could reasonably really like Mario Kart 8 and then hate World. Even if you don't like, you know, the open world part, like the open world is mostly optional. And even in online lobbies, most people just pick random to get 3 laps anyway. Oh. No. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it seems like this. Well, the thing is, I don't remember if this is how it worked. I think this is how it worked in 8 Deluxe, but the squid only affects people in front of you. But it seems like the ink is much thicker. And yeah, 24 people on the race is chaotic. But there's also a lot of changes they made to nerf a lot of the items, so that they account for the 24 people. You know, like lightning only affects people that are in front of the person that uses the lightning. Whereas in 8, it just affected everyone. You were in last place? Too bad, you got lightnings too. But they've done a lot of balancing to the items to really account for it. Also, this is very unfortunate. 22nd, rip. Look at how mad Baby Daisy is. I mean, after a point, the price of making games costs pennies compared to the amount of people buying it, probably. I think I get what you're saying. You're talking about, like, economies of scale, like... It costs significantly... You know, they have to make the game, right? But... if 1 million people buy it, then... the cost of that gets spread out enough so that the cost to provide a single person with a game goes down exponentially. Does the engine feel the same? I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that, but the drifting feels a little different. You get used to it, but... and I think it's good. But especially if you stayed to one combo in 8, then it's probably going to feel different. Like, I don't know, if you really like the teddy bear in 8 Deluxe, if you did the meta in 8 Deluxe, then with Yoshi and the teddy bear combo, then it's going to feel different just because everything's balanced differently, right? So there is going to be some getting used to it, but it's fine. Like graphics and physics? Well, I like the physics. The graphics, I think, are really good. Also, hi Hyper, welcome to the Twitch stream. I think you can pretty much judge from yourself if you like the graphics or not. They're obviously not as big of a jump from this game to 8 as it was for previous games, but that can be said for like every game that's lasted more than a generation, you know? Graphics just aren't improving nearly as much as they should in general. Moore's Law isn't dead, but it sure has slowed down. Also, I really like the food items because they're basically a guaranteed mushroom. So if you are going between areas and you're in first place, you can still essentially get a boost by getting food. I don't think there is like different types of food that give you different amounts of boost. So you're not going to be getting like a super boost, but it's still a reliable way to get a boost if you're front running. Moore's Law, I think, is dead. I think it's definitely slowing down. And also, Moore's Law doesn't really, from what I understand, it doesn't really take other things into account. Like, I mean, not to, oh my goodness, the end is right there. But like, it doesn't take things like, I don't want to get two people to take this the wrong way, but like AI, it doesn't really account for, or, you know, stuff that's to the side of graphics, you know, of pure graphical power. Like, there's still ways to innovate, I guess is what I'm really trying to say, or do things differently. But it's harder with just raw power, you know? What's the current size of... Ow. Hey everyone, happy Father's Day. Yeah, happy Father's Day. I'm not a father, but... Is this significantly harder to win? World is... It's definitely harder to get first, just because you have more players. I think now it's kind of like, as I was saying a little earlier, we're still in that area where people haven't exactly found out necessarily the best strats and the best combos. So I think in that sense it's easier. But just having like a bunch of other people is crazy. And a lot of other people have said this too, but if you get stuck in the middle, then it gets really difficult to come back. Like, if you're behind everyone, then you get good items and can essentially make a big comeback. If you're front running, then, you know, you're not going to be targeted as much, even though stuff like the boo exists to steal your items and stuff. But if you're in the middle of everyone and everyone is getting shells and giant mushrooms, it's rough. Like, you've probably seen it in here where if I get stuck in the pack, I'll get hit by multiple giants or multiple shells and stuff. So the center of the pack is much more chaotic because of the extra players, but so ideally you want to be towards the back or towards the front. I don't really like bagging though, so I just try to race normally and try to get to the front. Free food. Owie. Oh my goodness. Can I use my red shell on someone that's not holding protection? I don't like my coinage right now. Bowser Jr., please don't be that guy. Okay, well. Oh, I'm going to hold on to 3 red shells. Oh yeah, I like the fact that you can jump mid-air and do tricks mid-air. Because that way, even if you miss doing a trick off a jump, you can just do a jump in the air and get a boost that way. Alright, not bad. I'll take 5th. That's the thing too, you gotta calibrate what's a good placement and what's not based on the fact you have twice as many people. I guess it's hard to test combos. Yeah, especially since we don't have like a data mined game or anything. Like you physically have to test the combos. You can't look in the game and just calculate stats like you can with Mario Kart 8 and Deluxe. Thanks for subscribing, Steven. I appreciate that. Are pals in this? No. I think lightning is basically replaced the POW. Especially since the lightning doesn't stop you in your tracks exactly like it used to. Like, lightning's been really nerfed compared to 8 Deluxe, but given the fact that there's 24 players, it had to be severely nerfed. Hey Shy Bay, welcome to the Twitch stream. How are you doing today? But yeah, I think POWs would sort of be redundant with how lightning is. The other difference in terms of combos is that acceleration, characters with a lot of acceleration are really good in online. Because with 24 players, you're going to get hit by stuff. You just are. So you need something that can like get their momentum back. Like Bowser is the heaviest character in the game. So he has the most speed, but barely anyone plays him in online. Because it just takes you forever. I say that, there's a Bowser right in front of me. Oh, if he gets hit, it takes forever to get his speed back, so. Also, gold mushrooms are significantly better in this game. Like, if you're able to get a gold mushroom, you can easily go like 10 positions higher with a gold mushroom, depending on the map. Oh. Like, look, I got hit like 3 times there. A character with high acceleration is definitely useful. Which, ironically, is why I've heard babies are actually really decent combos. That's not why I'm using a baby. I'm using it to unlock outfits, but... Oh yeah, and I don't remember if mushrooms acted this way in Wii, but Mega Mushrooms can be used to go through shortcuts. Like, you don't slow down if you go off the track. So you can just use a Mega Mushroom to just take shortcuts. I think Mini Turbo was good in Mario Kart 8. I don't know about World. What I've heard is that if you get just a blue Mini Turbo, it's usually not worth it. But if you get a gold or rainbow Mini Turbo from drifting, then it's worth it. And it also depends on the track too. Like sometimes it's still worth to get a Mini Turbo drift just because it's a tight curve, you know? But if you have the option to drift and get a blue mini boost like this, or to just drive straight, it's usually better to just drive straight. But if you can get a gold... Oh, I was trying to show something. But if you get a gold drift or a rainbow drift, which is like the purple drift in 8, then it's definitely worth it. And you've also got to take into account that you can wall ride as well. And if you wall ride, your turbo builds significantly faster. Like, look, I was on that bus for like 1 second and I instantly got a mini turbo. So if you can wall ride, that's a very fast way to get boost. The only thing about wall riding though is you also gotta take into account of how you get on the wall. Like if you charge jump onto a wall, you gotta take into account that you're slowing down to get the charge jump. But if there's a rail or if you have the feather item or something, then wall riding is pretty good. So there's a lot of like, there's a lot of depth. I'm doing okay, but I'm sleepy. I know just how you feel, Shy Bay. I was up much later last night than I thought I would be. Yeah, they nerfed the blue mini turbo. Yeah, it's definitely not as good as it used to be. It's clear they don't want people snaking. Oh yeah, this is the other reason you can choose to do the in-between areas of races, is that's where you get the remixes for like the Mario games. Like that was Mario Galaxy music just playing. I don't think that normally plays on courses. That's like the in-between music. Oh my goodness. No, my coins. I completely screwed over that Bowser. That Bowser's going to take 10,000 years to speed up again. Just knowing how rough it is for Bowser to get his speed back. Bowser Jr., please. Also, the horns, like the super horns, are very much more aggressive in this game. Like, they go from mostly just blue shell protection to AoE attacks for everyone around you. Aww. Whatever, I'll take 8th. Again, you gotta remember, there's like 24 people in here. So even if you get 12th, you're still doing better than half the lobby. Yeah, Mega Mushrooms give you off-road in Wii 2. Ah. Yeah, I wasn't sure about that. I played that a lot when I was a kid, but I definitely did not play it Wii optimally. Are the in-between things procedurally generated or pre-made? I don't think we know for sure, but they feel like they're handmade. They don't feel like they're generated. Like in some areas, the open world feels empty, but there's also a lot of Easter eggs and little mini things that happen that really add some of that Nintendo charm, you know? Like, I saw in someone else's stream that, you know, they were searching in the middle of the woods for the P-switches, right? And then it started raining, and instead of raining rain, it rained a bunch of item boxes, which I had never seen before. Or like, when you're in the ocean, you'll see, you know, far away from the map, you'll see like a bunch of ocean creatures like going in that you can do tricks off of and stuff. There'll be like little boat yachts that you can drive into and take over to like give you a little extra stuff to do. There'll be airdrops that the game does, so even if you're in the middle of nowhere, you'll still have like an item to play with, you know? There's a helicopter you can use to fly around in. There's a UFO that you can take control of and suck up like NPC drivers on the road. That's stuff that's just in free mode, not in races, by the way. Just want to make that clear. You're not going to see a UFO in an actual race. Mario. I gotta remember, like, it takes a second for the super horn to disappear too. Like, it feels like it takes a lot longer to use the super horn than it does in Deluxe. Dang it, Boo. The boomerang is also really good when you're in the pack, because you can just hit so many people with the boomerang. Oh, I don't like this track. I just have PTSD from playing this in single player. King Boo is just so good at this map because it's part of his cup. But for some reason, I had especially a decent amount of trouble finishing this map in first and single player than any of the other maps. But yeah, see, look, lightning affected everyone, but since I was behind whoever used it, I didn't get hurt. I kind of wish I had more than one mushroom here. This works. I'll happily take that. Yeah. There's definitely the potential to get Mario Karted in here, but I mean, that's just part of Mario Kart. Is this Mario Kart 2 or whatever? This is Mario Kart World on the Nintendo Switch 2 system. I always find it kind of odd how they always refer to it as the Nintendo Switch 2 system or the Nintendo Switch system, you know? Rather than just saying the Nintendo Switch or the Nintendo Switch 2. No, it's the Nintendo Switch 2 system. Ooh, this is interesting too. So if you see an arrow pointing at the map here, that means you have to drive from the course you're on to that course. And if there isn't an arrow, that means it does all 3 laps. So we could vote for Whistletop Summit, and we'll do 3 maps of that, or we can do random, and random's always 3 laps on the same map without driving in between. That's why you see so many people picking random now. All right. Unfortunately, my stream has to be a bit shorter today, so this will be the last race. I wish I didn't have to. It didn't have to be shorter today, but food. See, look. Even though I'm in first, basically a free boost. It wasn't a big boost, and I'm now in 8th, but that's still interesting. Ow. Oh yeah, you can see it there too, but the bullet bill doesn't actually not hit you like it does in 8. It just pushes you to the side. And even hitting cars head on, like NPC cars head on, it just doesn't slow you down as much as it did. Again, it's part of that balancing for so many players, right? Like, it feels like Nintendo did a lot of work to make sure that items were balanced so that they're not as harsh if you're like in the middle of the pack. But there's still a lot of stuff that just makes it more chaotic. Like, it feels like they did a lot of balancing for the items so that the middle doesn't feel chaotic, but it still feels extremely chaotic. And I think that's just, you know, not an item problem. It's just that's what, you're going to have a chaotic race with 24 people. With any items. No, this is the last lap. Let's take the shorter jump. And then gold mushroom. Woo-wee. See, look, that's why the gold mushroom is so good. I got a lot of spaces forward in that last bit. Do you think Nintendo will add new costumes? Honestly, this might be a bit of a controversial statement, but I think if they add DLC, it would be ideal if they added paid cosmetics instead of paid maps, like with the Booster Course Pass. Like, you know, they could still make new maps and stuff, but maybe they have a Zelda pack or whatever. You know, kind of like what they do with Smash, where they have character DLC. I think that would be taken better than, you know, by the community than just making more paid maps, you know, since the game's $80. So if they add free maps, but then you have the option to buy like a Zelda pack if you really want it, I think that would be fun. But yeah, I think that would be ideal. Whether or not they'll do that, I have no idea. Who knows what Nintendo does, but anyway, I gotta get going. I have to end my stream at this time. So it was a bit of a shorter stream, but after last night, I just couldn't wake up at the same time I normally did. And I was sort of behind schedule all day and sleepy all day. Unfortunate, but yeah, I'd like to thank you all for coming by and watching the stream. I do appreciate it. If you enjoyed the stream, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, and if you haven't done so already, be sure to hit that follow button on Twitch. I'm going to do a little raid on Twitch here for someone whose Mario Kart stream I've been watching for a while. I can't really stay for it, but I'll raid them anyway. For the few people that are on Twitch. But yeah, that's it for today. Let me check the chat one more time. Alright, yeah. Thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.